I want to watch this video. Are you guys okay if I watch it? Because I like bugs. Let's watch it. What is this? True facts is not appropriate for children nor adults who don't act like children. What? Wait, does that mean I'm the target demographic? Chat, that's me!
Flitting around atop a pond like some frolicking water puppy.
Fruit snacks!
I mean, who knows what they're up to, but it looks like fun, doesn't it? Look at that one rolled right on his back.
Wait, why do we flip over?
If you want to play around on the surface of the water, there's a couple ways to do it. You can be sort of half in, half out like this.
Chat. Rats at the KFC deep fryer.
Fly, you know, have a nice little...
Bro was not a waterbender, chat.
...float around. However, this fly isn't really built for water sports. It has some trouble...
What the frick? He's not jet skiing. He's drowning.
...with the moving part. And that...
How do you think a fly soup tastes?
That means it's f***ed. Because water striders are very good at hunting things that have accidentally wet themselves. Jenny, that's an awkward line. They have this...
Wait, is he getting a hug or is he getting killed?
...long needle-like proboscis at the end of their face. And they can use it to poke right through the outside of a fly. Oop, didn't say it was easy.
VTubers, am I right?
Once the proboscis is in there, it squirts out some digestive juices and starts digesting the fly from the inside out. I mean, this particular fly couldn't give a shit.
Bro's like, oh no, the huzz watching. Yeah. They don't know what I'm plotting. Perry the platypus!
Look at it. It's washing its hands.
Perry the platypus!
That proboscis has a little flexi straw inside of it.
Chat, imagine that and you're like, wow. You know what, never mind.
And they use that to suck out the insides. Anyway, if you fall into some water and are struggling, water striders are like the opposite of a lifeguard. They're death something. Maybe like a life? Maybe like a death guard. Yeah, I don't know. Doorman, because they let people in. Death doorman. And then soon enough, you got a whole bunch of them. It's like a buffet.
Chat, why don't they just suck each other?
What do you mean by that?
But like a dirty buffet. Because while you're eating, someone might just hop on and start having sex with you.
Who might Charo Diddy Bug?
You need more than a sneeze guard on that buffet, I'll tell you what. I mean, it all looked cute from far.
They're doing it, Chat, they're doing it!
Way, didn't it? Up close, things get freaky. Now, these insects can hunt and fight and have relations on top of the water without getting wet because of surface tension.
Wait, so Chat, tell me why a fish doesn't just frag them all. Like, guys, you ever heard of a dragon in a village? This is the bug world equivalent of a dragon, except it's a bass versus a bug. Think about that.
Just a quick refresher. Water molecules are into bondage. They get all handsy with their neighbors. It's like an orgy. You don't know whose bits you're pulling on or letting go of. It's fluid, get it? Now, under the surface, that grabbing is in all directions.
Chat, you guys have magnetic personalities.
But on the surface, one side is air. Those molecules, they're on the outside of the orgy. Their little highs getting all chilly. They can only get grabby down into the sides. And this extra grabbing along the surface causes a layer
I'm not that attractive. I like you.
of molecules to act almost like an elastic sheet. And you can sit right on top of it. Well, you can't, but a water strider can because of some key adaptations. If you look close at these little bastards, you can see...
Chat, if you look very closely, he kind of looks like a pogo stick. I'm gonna demonstrate. I mean, chat, tell me it's not close. Tell me it's not close. If I saw one of these dudes IRL, chat, I'm hopping on like SpongeBob on a rock. You see that junk?
They're a bit furry. That's because most of their body is covered with these tiny little hair-like setae. These setae have a waxy coating, which
is like Harry Potter.
Is something that water doesn't want a bondage with. On the legs, you can see that the tips of the setae bend inwards, so as not to be pokey-pokey on the surface.
Chat, tell me why every bug under a microscope looks like an eldritch horror. Like, can they just be nice and happy? Like, chat, name a single French-shaped bug under a microscope. Not a single, not even caterpillars are French-shaped under a microscope.
You can also see that the individual setae are grooved. And that's because all this hairiness and
they have huge curved grooves.
Roughness trap little...
Ladybug? Chat, I don't want to burst your bubble, but let me just Google. Oh my god. Chat, I don't want to tell you guys this. There is not a single French-shaped bug on Earth. If you look at these cucks up close, chat, they're all terrifying. Jumping spider cute? Let me see. Jumping spider under microscope. I mean, chat, it's debatable. Chat, be so for real. If this bug was the size of you, you would not be petting it, chat. I don't want to hear that, dude. I don't want to hear that.
Little pockets of air, which can act like a cushion between the insect and the water's surface. Now, their whole body is covered with these little setae, and I'll give you one
Chat, he has, leprosy.
reason why. Rain, which is f***ing traumatic at this size. But look at that, they're cool with...
Chat, a single drop of water is the effing modern day... I can't say it, but you get the idea.
It looks like some of them are even having
boom!
fun. Look at this one riding the upswing and doing a backflip. This incredible ability to repel water allows them to hang out on the surface.
Chat, Disparity says size does matter.
But it also means there's not all that much friction on that surface. It's like
Wait, chat, if you're that small, water becomes jelly.
standing on a greased-up trampoline with roller skates on.
Think about
so
that.
if they want to move, they have to use some tricks. Even though those little hairs are water repellent, the fact that they're all pointed in one direction and a little bendy means that they can generate very small adhesive forces with the surface, but only if you go against the grain. So they can use that
I go against the grain
addition
every
to
day.
pushing off the side of those little dimples that they make.
It's getting
So
a
they
little
don't break the
scientific.
surface, but rather transfer their momentum to water
Didn't my man just get slingshotted by a different bug?
underneath the surface.
Where did he go?
The strokes leave behind a trail of these swirling
I don't like bugs doing strokes.
horseshoe vortices, a lot like what you might see behind a boat being rowed.
Ooh!
This sort of movement, rowing and gliding,
Bugs
is
are boats.
quite efficient.
They both ride on the water. They both have paddle arms, and they both eat stuff on the surface.
But it's not the
Jesus is a water bug.
only way to do it. Some other water-walking insects use what's called a tripod gait. It can look a bit awkward and it's not as efficient. But this sort of movement allows them to walk both on
Ew,
water
what is
and
that?
solid
Ugh.
surfaces, which certainly comes in handy if your pond's filled with duckweed.
Have you guys ever been bitten by a tick before?
Can't row through
Oh,
that Now, even though this looks a bit more like walking, the interaction with the water's surface is similar to the water strider. Little waxy hairs trapping pockets of air and creating vortices.
I always think I got ticked, but I
Need a bit
haven't.
more oomph in your step. For one, there's things right below you that want to eat you, and they can see you quite well. It's like if the lions at the zoo were just behind some saran wrap. A water strider.
Bro just stood there and took that. Chat, if I was a bug, they would never catch me. They would never. I'd be the Flash Filian.
It's not going to rowboat its
Pretty
way out of
fast,
this one, so instead it jumps. And they're quite good at it too. But I know what you're thinking, Clever Nipples. Water striders can fly. Well, it turns out by the time they've started the
Chat, is this guy jumping or just vertically planking?
engines and gotten through the safety demonstration, they'd be fish food.
Be so for real,
A
Chat, how
smaller
long would
water
I last
strider
as a
can do
bug?
all this without breaking the surface. But some
I'm a pretty good bug.
of the larger ones break through
What? Look at
and
him
push
fly.
off the water below. And you can see all those air bubbles that their legs bring with them. But not everyone is gifted with such long-ass legs. Springtails, for example, mean looking at...
Chat, if I was this bug, I wouldn't... My arm! If I was this bug, I would not last very long. I'm gonna keep it a bug.
them, you wouldn't think that...
I mean, chat, these things legitimately look like a skill issue on Earth. This looks like my first spore creature.
hurdles would be their event. But Lindsay here has some serious ups. Lindsay here is quite the jumper. And that's because
Lindsay.
most springtails have a,
Look how
you'll never
cute she
guess,
is,
a
Chad.
springtail. Well, sort of. The science hippies call it
What
a
is
fricula.
that?
And most of the time, they keep it tucked in like a
She's
sad
got a
dog
fricula.
butt. Sorry, like a sad dog.
She's got a
but
fricula.
if they need to get away in a hurry, they can pop it out. Jerry, what the hell was that? It barely moved.
Little sis just face boarded.
I mean, it couldn't escape a fart. Do another one. Oh, all right, that's better. I know what you're thinking. That's cool, but it's basically jumping just with your ass. But if you...
I'm scared. Chat, I didn't want to do a forwards backflip off a trampoline. Is that acceptable? I got a little scared, chat.
Close. They've got another little trick going on.
I wanna
They've got
eat
a little
it.
tubey thing on their tum-tum that attracts water. So you can see as they take off, they take a little drop of water with them.
Bro, he's stealing a kid.
And that's because if you launch yourself into a crazy backflip, you're going to pull out all the stops to stick the landing. First thing they do is change their posture mid-air.
What?
And as they fall, this gives them a better chance of landing right side up. Now, if
No
they
way.
don't, because their bodies are water repellent, they'll bounce around a bit. And that's embarrassing for a springtail. But if they get it just right, they can use that little drop of water they've been carrying to attach to the water's surface. It's sticking the landing, but with like real sticking. Now, springtailers aren't the only ones to realize the benefits of having some body parts that attract water.
That is so sick.
Here wants to show you his.
So sick.
Any of these water walkers have a pair of claws on the tips of their legs. They're smooth so they don't trap air, and water is attracted
should I be a bug when I grow up?
to them, and they can use them
like
to
really
pull up on
considering
the
it.
surface of the
It
water.
doesn't seem bad.
You might say, big deal.
I can do it. I
allows them
can.
to do a bit of a magic trick.
can do it.
Here you can see Mesovelia try to scramble up the curve at the edge of the glass. That doesn't work, but then watch this. Let me explain. When water molecules come in
Bro, this guy's got a force pull.
contact with something that they're more attracted to,
He haven't hit the Looney Tunes smelling a pie in the window. Ain't no way. Bro just floated forwards.
than other water molecules.
Yeah,
They
freak
bond with
physics.
it. But not only that, they'll start to climb up that surface and pull their neighbors along with them. This creates a curve in the water that changes the direction of the forces acting on the water molecules.
What?
You got gravity, surface
Chat,
tension.
I'm not gonna become 1% bug. That's like 18,000 subs.
The attraction of water molecules to each other and to the new surface. And eventually they balance each other out. But this is essentially a frictionless hillside if you're small like Delilah here. And her water walking won't work, she just
Hey
slides
there,
right
Delilah,
off. So to
what's it
climb it,
like
she
in
first
New York
turns and
City?
faces it head on.
I'm a
Then she
1,000 miles
pulls the
away,
surface
but
up with her
tonight
front
you
legs,
look so
but also
pretty.
with her hind legs,
I
while
know.
simultaneously pushing down with her middle legs. Now this changes the surface tension and the direction that these forces are pulling, and suddenly many symbols appear. But the bottom line is that the changes to the shape of that curve create an imbalance of forces that pull Delilah up until they're balanced again. Now this is especially helpful if you're a little beetle larva like this one. Not
Chat,
water
there's
repellent,
too much
no fancy
math.
hooks, wouldn't even have to dress
I
up
wanna
to
watch
be a
the
fish
bugs
food pellet for
jump.
Halloween. But watch. It creates a curve by
Wait, let him
arching
cook,
its
let him
body.
cook.
Zoop. That means it can get to an edge and climb out to safety.
Chat, it's like when you grab the carpet, you pull it up here, and then you push it down here, and then you Mario BLJ glitch forwards.
Now these forces that pull two curves together are the
Oreos.
same ones that cause your Cheerios to clump.
Oreo.
And it
Oreo.
also works if both curves are
Oreo.
pointed down into the water's surface.
Oh!
Now, it can get a little awkward if you run into your
Vex.
ex. All right, well, it was good to see you.
How did
I
I
have
split
to,
up?
Now the teeny
It's like they're like trying to come out of a pit of water.
Microvelia, like Deborah here. Oh, that's not Deborah. It's Casey. Like Casey here, have another
Casey's
trick up there.
mom
Well,
has
you'll
got
see.
it
If their little
going on.
feet and legs get tired from all the scampering, they can just stop and go, ugh. And look at that, they take off like a little rocket.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking, fart power. No, what they're
Facts.
doing is releasing a small droplet of liquid out their butt. And this liquid acts like dish detergent would if you put a drop into some water with pepper suspended on the surface. The molecules of these liquids will sit on the surface of the water.
What? These bugs are farting into the environment for mobility. Get off my ladder!
So then there's less water bondage on the surface and less surface tension. The water surrounding that droplet has higher surface tension,
Bro, they
and
got
because of that,
fart-powered
it pulls
bugs
on the
before
area of
GTA
lower
6.
surface tension. And this becomes a kind of wave that you can surf. And you can try this in a pool. Release something out your butt and see how fast everyone moves away.
Chat, should I try it?
Zinger.
What? Chat, okay,
What do you mean you
guys.
called it? It's not whoever sees it first. It's not shotgun. And even if it... What the hell? You just bit my ass. No, my ass does not look like a fly's ass. You did that
1v1.
on purpose. You don't go around
1v1.
biting someone's ass because you have
1v1.
hurt feelings. Stop it. Even if you did call it, god damn it.
1v1.
Even if you... Oh, this is ridiculous. I'm saying, how would I have heard you? Ow!
They got clogged. Chat, what do you think, boys? I feel like there was too much math in it, but I understand that may be a skill issue. I liked it.